Terrible. So how you doing, buddy? You had a little drama, happening recently.
I sure did. Yeah, you didn't go through this not that long ago too though, right? You had an issue.
Well, I've had three happen, but the good thing about mine is my town is small and doesn't have a SWAT team.
Yeah.
Right? They don't even have one. So what they did for me was the main issue I had was I wasn't answering my phone because they called me
That's what happened to
first.
me too. They did call me
Yeah.
twice.
And so then they called my mother-in-law at 3 in the morning because they're like,
Yeah.
hey, we're just trying to figure out what's going on. So then she called me and you
You see
answer a
that
phone
number?
call.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And I'm like, oh shit, who's dead? And then I found
Yep.
out that apparently it was my wife who was dead because I had murdered her.
I also murdered my wife. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
join the club. MGTOW all the way.
Yeah. Incel Nation.
That's what she
Yeah.
gets for buying the wrong beer. But yeah, so
You told her once.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Then I told her for the last time.
Right.
So we did that happened, and the cop was like, yeah, okay, just come meet me outside. And so I did. And everything was fine there. The second time, similar thing. They're like, hey, just come meet me. Third time, the guy just called and he's like, just making sure everything's cool. I'm like, yep, live right now, buddy. You know, you can just tune into the show and see that I have not recently murdered anybody because I've been sitting here for hours.
Right. Yeah. That was the you know, you never want to show like weakness or whatever, but like I admit it was, for me, I like knew what was going on. But like, for you, I think we're in a similar situation where like Mrs. Rackets, she's not an internet personality. She doesn't know what's going on, right?
No, so I have to like bribe her every 13 or 14 months to come on the show. Like something special has to happen.
Yeah.
I owe her a vacation afterwards. She does not want to be in the space. She's very introverted, does not like the whole the idea of,
but that's why we love them,
her.
Right? We don't want women who are TikTokers or whatever, So
no Anissas.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, where it completely changes you. But the that was the thing, right? So they called me. I didn't answer because I was too busy giving fucking Tim $100 super chats. And it comes in from like a weird local number, which honestly is either like a Ron Johnson calling me or Verizon telling me that, they've got a special offer for me. Right. So I don't answer it. My wife answers at like 11-ish. Okay.
She's like, I'm not killed.
Yeah. Well, no, but here's a crazy thing, which was I would love to get a lawyer's take on it. I've obviously had half Asian super lawyers take on this today, but I think, for the public, I'll pretend like I don't know the law. But so my wife answers the phone, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is dispatch. Is this Heather Hambley? Do you live at this address? And she's like, who the fuck? She's in bed. Right?
Yeah.
She's in bed. So she's like, who is this? She calls me. I'm right in the other room. She's like, Jeremy, I don't know what's going on here. You did some stupid internet shit.
It's always our fault. Right?
Right.
Like,
of course.
Like, as you're right, sweetheart. I actually called the person. I told them to please swap me tonight because I didn't have anything else going on.
While she was getting handcuffed, she was shooting me razor blade like eyes at, but like, so
did she get cuffed?
Yes, they cuffed her, which is part of my. Here's an exclusive. I'm filing a formal civil. So like when you go against a police station, there's very few things you can do. I'm not suing the police station. I don't want their money. But what I do want is like some understanding around policy and this and that. But which I'll get into. But like. So I'm like, so my wife answers the phone, clearly not dead.
Right.
I answer, I take the phone from her because she's like, who is this fucking person, right? And then she goes, and that dispatcher, a female, goes, hey, an officer would just like to talk to you about something that's going on in the neighborhood. At this point, I know I'm getting swatted, right? Like at this point, I know. And I said, cool. Put him on the phone. I had no idea there was 25 officers with AR rifles pointed at my house at this point. So I'm like,
Okay, so
okay,
they're outside the house
yes, they were
already.
already surrounded my house.
Sure.
My dog had already gone berserk. And like, not to be like too serious because I know we have fun here, but like, there was a moment where my dog was like sniffing. There's like, I opened the patio door a crack and he could smell someone out there, right?
Yeah.
And I tweeted this out earlier, but I often think about like, if I had like gone out there and seen a dark figure with a rifle, I might be dead today. Like, all jokes aside,
Yeah.
like
No, it
this
happened to
fucking
that one dude. Remember, it happened last year. There was the swatting, and that dude had no idea what was going on because it was the Call of Duty game,
yes,
right?
he fucking got murdered
Right, cop
over a
shot him from
$5
a
bet.
yeah, because the guy he basically went like this and then put his hands down,
Yeah,
like kind of frustrated at the cop, and the cop across the road just ploop, and
yeah,
headshot done.
dead. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's not a fucking joke, man. It's crazy.
yeah. Like I laugh because I can't. You don't want to like show weakness or whatever. But like
Yeah,
the reality is like, dude, when I was fucking so okay, so they go oh, there's something going on in your neighborhood, blah blah blah, and I was like, look, I know what's happening. It's a swatting. Uh, let me talk to the guy. I at this point I had no idea that there were police outside my house. At this point, there's 15, 20 officers surrounding my house. I had no idea. And dispatch was like, okay, great, we'll connect you with the officer. I'm on hold for like 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'm
yeah.
just standing there, shirtless, drinking a White Claw, as you do. And then it was technically a high noon, but like
White Claw, Wisconsin.
it
I've
was
heard. I've heard that
Go ahead.
White Claws do pacify Wisconsinites. I learned
That's
this
true.
during the
I've
Kyle
heard that.
Rittenhouse trial.
Yeah. It was technically high noon, unsponsored, but it was. And so like, okay, so in the police's defense, okay, they called me twice. My phone was charging, so I didn't even notice. They
Right.
rang my doorbell, but I don't have my doorbell chime on because I have 2 German shepherds, and I have a wife who likes to shop, which means I have Amazon delivery drivers here 37 to 40 times a day.
Dude, it's
So I turn
ridiculous.
off
I feel you.
my door chime, right? They call my wife. She happens to pick up. And again, at this point, they've been outside the house for I don't know how long. I take over the dispatcher's like, hey, officer would love to talk to you. So let me talk to him because I know I'm getting swatted. I had no idea they were here. And then they go, okay, cool, cool. And then I'm on hold. Boop, boop. I hear I'm on hold forever, forever. At no point do I realize that there's people outside my house.
Yeah.
And then she comes back on, and she's like, "Oh well, he just wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "Why?" Because I know what it is, right? Please tell me why.
Yeah.
No, well, there's just a disturbance in your neighborhood. And by the way, this should be public. I think. I don't know if the dispatch call would, but certainly the radio calls would be.
Yeah.
And I said, "No, this is bullshit. I'm getting swatted. Fuck off. I'm not coming outside, right?" So
Yeah.
then she goes, "Just go talk to him. You pop outside, right?" I open the garage door. 15 guys with AR-15s, flashlights. I pop the garage door. I come outside expecting one officer sitting outside the door. They're like, "Get on the fucking ground!" Like they were fucking
Jesus.
full on, right? So I'm like, holy shit! Like I have anxiety problems. I'm having a full blown panic attack. I'm like, guys, please, 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 please. Like I'm a content creator. This is definitely a SWAT. Fucking chill out. Please stop pointing your guns at me. They did not give
Yeah.
a fuck. And again, in their
Idiocy.
defense, they had called me. They had called my wife. They also told me later that they saw me like walking around shirtless, just drinking a White Claw, and the cop was ringing the doorbell. Like I didn't know that he was ringing the
Right.
doorbell. But like
Yeah.
later I find out like they rang the doorbell like 20 times. I'm just out here fucking shirtless with my fucking glorious 8-pack drinking a White Claw. It was a high
Right.
noon, but like they're like, this guy's a fucking psychopath, like he did it and whatever.
Yeah. I think the same when I look at you, so I get it.
You're not wrong. But then like I go outside. I fucking, of course you comply because it's not like you're like dealing with some dude. There's 15 shadowy figures with flashlights, strobe lights pointing at you. You can clearly tell the rifles. So I do the whole thing. I posted a picture, put my hands up, walk backwards, do this and turn backwards, blah, 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 go down on your knees. They fucking jump on me, cuff me. And to be fair, they were fine. They didn't like cram their neck and their knee in my back. They didn't fucking whatever.
Sure.
And
did they put their finger in your butt at all? Not
that I remember. But then, they go
pay extra for that on the swatting, I think.
Right. They should have super chatted more. But then they go, so they take me back behind my truck. I'm moving right now, so I've got pods. Those like, those mobile, I think. So they take me back here, and then I realized there's like 25 officers.
Right.
And I'm in cuffs, and immediately I think about like hilarious as like a content creator. The first thing I thought about was like,
God, I wish I was filming this.
Well, no, I was like, don't be a pussy because someone's gonna fucking break down the fucking the body cam footage. So then I'm like indignant, I'm like, you fucking pussies, you fucking idiots,
you fascist jackbooted Democrat.
I was talking mad shit. I was like, you guys are all fucking retarded. You fucking, this isn't fucking Afghanistan, you retards. Put your fucking guns down. Talking all this shit.
You have big guns because you have tiny dicks.
Right, yeah. I was just like talking mad shit because at this point I'm cuffed and I'm off to the side.
Yeah.
Then I realize, they're about to fucking make my wife shit her pants.
Yeah.
So they're like, where's your wife? Where's her wife? Like, put fucking camera or flashlight on my face, I'm like, fuck you, man. She's in bed, piece of shit. Like, I told you this was a SWAT. And then they're like, well, get her out of here. Get her out of here. I'm like, what? So if you remember back, if you're following my story, I took her phone. Yeah. So they had called her. I took her phone because she doesn't answer the phone like a good woman does. She doesn't answer her phone. She's like, who the fuck is this? Please protect her, man, giant wang dude. Please answer my phone calls. So she hands me the phone. So I'm like, I have her phone. I have her phone, which was in the lawn at this point after they put me face down 3 inches from a pile of my dog shit.
Nice.
And cuffed me. I'm like, that's her phone in the lawn. I have no way to contact her. And so at this point, they're like, oh, he definitely murdered her. And so people know somebody had sent an anonymous text message that said that I had deleted my wife with a high power rifle.
Right.
Okay. Obviously, at this point, clearly untrue. Because I don't know if you followed my story, but my wife answered the phone.
Yeah, they're talking to her. This should immediately shut it all down.
Right. So I'm like,
or calm it down, I should
or
say,
at least tone it down, right? You're all here, that's fine, but maybe don't, like get the fucking M4 out of my back. So then I'm like, and then I have 2 German Shepherds who are very protective. And immediately I'm thinking of like, these fuckers are going to shoot my dogs.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's what I'd be worried about.
Yeah. And I was like, don't you fucking shoot I'm like, my dogs, like I was like, I'm like, can I go in? Of course, they're like, no, you can't, right? You can't do anything. So then they call in a squad car that's a block away and they fucking deploy the speaker system, right? I live in a gated community, right? So I have all these boomers and they're like, Heather Hadley, get outside with your hands up. And I can see all of my neighbors filming with their cell phones. Dead serious.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
All my neighbors are like filming with their cell phones. They don't know what the fuck's going on. And my wife is scared out of her mind.
Yeah.
Because she has no idea what the fuck is happening. She knows she handed me her phone. I went outside and now there's a police car on my front lawn with a speaker system screaming for her to come out. So they make my wife, which is part of my actual like my civil liberties complaint, because I feel like I'm not trying to sue my police. I feel like they acted reasonably given the information they know, but also like, bro, I'll get to that. But
I think you're nicer than me, but
yeah, okay. I know. Well, I mean, Bill's on it. We have official like press release tomorrow. No
Yeah.
spoilers, but yes, I'm not fucking happy. So then, and by the way, I've told these tards like 1,000 times that like this is bullshit. I'm like, dude, pull up fucking Tim Pool's stream. He's getting swatted. I'm getting swatted. So they make my wife, who's shitting her pants, shaking, crying, like completely melting down like any normal person would,
Yeah.
do the whole turn around, turn a quarter clockwise, step back, turn right, step, go down on one knee, go down another. That's what they do to my wife, who, by the way, is supposed to be dead at this point, right?
And that's their report. So it, fucking hell. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So my wife is fucking, like anybody would. She's like, she's like bawling. She's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like in the corner. I'm like, Heather, it's okay. It's a fucking prank phone call. But she doesn't know what swatting is. They're like, turn around, get out on your knees. And they fucking handcuffed her. And I'm thinking like, okay, that's odd. You must think she's a zombie from beyond the grave.
To be fair, she committed a crime. She lied to police by being alive.
That's true. She did. And like I'm at this point, I'm like deep in the cuffs. I'm in the corner. I'm going fucking bananas. Also because I think I'm on camera, so I'm extra hamming it up. Right. I'm like, you fucking pussies! Don't you put those fucking handcuffs on my wife! All this stuff. I'm screaming at him. I was like, I fucking told you this is bullshit. There she is. She's clearly alive. Blah 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 blah. Didn't matter. They still handcuffed her.
Right.
Okay, in their defense, right? They didn't know that was my wife. Could have been one of my many mistresses, and she could have been dead inside. So I will give them plausible deniability. However, by this point, it was pretty clear it was bologna sausage,
Yeah.
And one of the 20 cops finally walks around by me, looks me in the face, and recognizes my YouTube channel.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, dude, and this is total privilege, right? So he recognizes that, the thing I've been screaming at the top of my lungs for 45 minutes is the truth. And he's like, oh, I do know you. I said, yeah, you fucking do, because I know the police around watch my videos. He disappears around the corner. Then immediately they take the cuffs off my wife, and they take the cuffs off me.
God.
And after that, by the way, I don't think my wife will ever be the same. Like, that is something that most people are not equipped to handle.
It's trauma, like arrest trauma and police intervention trauma is a real thing, suffered by, usually it's when kids or spouses will see their loved one arrested for something that they didn't do. And if it's particularly violent or jarring, certainly that shit's real. It sticks with you because now every time, there's a knock on the door or a phone call late at night, you're going to be wondering, well, what is this? Is this another bullshit thing that's going on?
Right. And my wife is not aware of like swatting. You know how many fucking boomers I've had to explain what swatting is today? Why would anyone do that? That's crazy. Isn't that against the law? Yes, it's against the law. For fuck's sake. Of course it is. So they let her go. They let me go. Right. And here's where my second complaint is. And I would love your take legally. So what is the terminology? I always forget it. But like there is a law, a rule that allows people to search your home even if you say fuck off.
Yeah, so an exigent circumstance.
Exigent circumstances, right? So I remember this, right? So I'm in the garage, and they're like, just to make sure that there's nobody here. Okay. So because this is now my life. My phone rings. I'm like, oh, is it the police? So
mine too. Whoever's doing it, you can fuck off. I've got the cop's number saved in my phone.
Yeah, well, now I'm sure I'm fine because they know, right? I had every literal police officer in the county at my house, and they all know. But like, so he says so we're out of cuffs now. Finally, we're in the garage, and they're like, we need to search the house. I said, absolutely, I do not consent. I do not consent to searches. I'm not going to say whether or not there were things in my house I didn't want police to find. But the fact of the matter is, I didn't want them to be like, ooh, what's this, right? So I said, no, I do not consent. And they said, oh, well, we still have to search it. I said, and I think I blew their mind because like I know what I know that you're trying to pull this exigent circumstances bullshit. You don't have you don't have that because I know that like this is not a potential situation where you think that this is real. Oh, literally, I gotta go. The cops are here. I'm not kidding.
Oh God, fucking hell.
All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, no.
All right.
Let me know you're okay when you're
Yeah,
when you're
I will.
done. All right. Well, there you go. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's how it goes. This is the bullshit aspect of it. So hopefully, everything will be okay since this just happened to him. But it isn't a joke, right? It isn't a joke. And I know cops have some, they have to adapt to a real situation, right? They have to make sure that everything's going to, that they're doing what they're supposed to do. But for fuck's sake, they need to act with common sense and common decency, and they need to understand that they are deeply impacting the lives of the citizenry when they do this and when they react in this way. SWAT teams should be deployed when there's a knowing need for SWAT, not on a whim. Not on oh God damn it. And I was just swatted as well, but thank goodness the the police officers have in my area, much credit to them. They do not just come barging down the door. But yeah, so thank you, by the way, to the local PD here. I very much appreciate how you guys handle this situation. So again, hopefully Jeremy's off. But yeah, some of these police departments with these SWAT teams, they need to deploy them with discernment. For one, it's a huge expenditure of resources. It's insane how much it costs to deploy a SWAT team. That's one of the reasons that these need to stop, and they need to stop being given the same credibility because a SWAT team deployment costs between $40,000 and $90,000. If they deploy a full SWAT team, you got to get the officers. Often it's overtime. They deploy equipment. Sometimes they deploy helicopters. Launching a helicopter with a pilot costs a fortune. You have to mobilize a ton of resources, and you find out how much these things cost when people do get caught for these sort of calls, and they get convicted for the false report and have to pay restitution to the city for the or county or whatever it is for the deployment of the resources. And so it's a really expensive thing, and it's high bullshit that it keeps happening. And I think SWAT teams are going to have to SWAT teams and police departments across the country are going to have to get used to a digital age. But what the advice I would have is, if you're a content creator in any sort of controversial space, you should be contacting proactively your local police, letting them know who you are, where you live, what you do, and why this might happen. And find out if there are different channels and alternative communications that they could use to make sure this doesn't happen. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. The Jeremy's story is absolutely insane, very dramatic. The fact that they handcuffed him and his wife is terrifying, frankly. Like I think about my house where I've got kids. I mean, what would you, how do you explain that to your children? People busting in the house in the middle of the night. Again, thank God out here, we have some police officers with a good way of dealing with this situation. So, anyway, speaking of swatting,
Yeah, dude, you're just trying to stop my grift.
No, I want I want you to shave that beard off your face because I want to see if there's an ass on your chin.
I heard about the ass chin. I've been back. I've been back. Like, I don't know what happened. I was just chilling backstage, and you were saying all sorts of heinous things about me, and then you also admitted to calling the cops again. By the way, I'm not dead.
That's good.
Thankfully, this time it was a text message to the fire department that said I was my husband is dying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Thank God this time it was just two fucking absolute kings that were like, "Oh, so you're not dead?" I'm like, "Nah."
No,
like,
I'm alive.
Yeah, they're like, "Cool, see you later." And also, by the way, shout out, one of the guys was here last night. He's like, "Fucking sorry about last night."
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
He's like, "Okay, see you later." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not dead."
Did you hear that I similarly was attempted swatted at the same time you were?
No, I didn't hear
Just
that.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. I got a message from the local police and they said, "Hey, just so you know, this is what's going on." So
Oh, it's because of me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I told my wife, I'm like, "Hey, just listen for the door."
Yeah.
Just in case.
Answer the door if like a Ring camera. So like,
But
I of course I get the notification a little like, "Oh, motion was noted." I'm like, I fucking knew it. And like, I just see like this guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Poor dude.
God damn it, dude. It's like, okay. And then so my wife obviously like is like calling me. She's like, "There's people at the door." She was very cool. And I was like, "Yeah, it's the fucking cops. Just relax." So then I went outside and they were super cool. Like, I hope that gets your rocks off, dudes. Like, they don't give a fuck about your text messages anymore. They know about your lame ass fucking bullshit. Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's just like,
yeah, well, because I mean, I was talking about this right away, is how much it costs the police department to deploy those resources.
Dude, for the SWAT team, you're talking about thousands for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you got 25 overtime officers, probably, and you're not talking because the SWAT guys, you know, they're like usually deployed in other areas until SWAT gets called. So they've got to come in, they've got to suit up, they've got to deploy in all their gear. Sometimes, you know, the vehicle deployments cost a certain amount of money. That
they had the fancy fucking mobile too.
The APC thing,
the War Machine. Yeah.
It's crazy how much it costs. So they don't like. It's really easy to shit on cops in this situation. It really is.
I stand by. I love my police. I love my police.
Well, I like how mine handle it better.
Well, not getting handcuffed with your face in your own front yard in front of every neighbor while you're like 3 inches from a pile of dog poop is suboptimal.
Right.
But tonight,
you're not dead. You're not perforated.
It's because I'm white. But I mean,
really would have been bad if you were Asian.
Oh yeah, well I would have been on the roof. But then and like, but you know what went a long way is the dude that was here last night that I didn't recognize. He was on the perimeter.
Yeah,
he's like, "Fucking sorry, dude." I was like, "Oh, I love you, man. Please be on call every time one of these retards sends that stuff." You know.
Well, and that's what I was getting to is like, you know, this happens to them. They're pissed too. Right?
Dude, they hate it. That's a huge cock fucking block, dude. The bluest of blue balls for these guys. They wait all month. SWAT might not deploy for months, at least in my small neighborhood. You know, they're not rolling. They're not rolling often. So when you get these guys all hopped up, like I said, there were several of them last night who I kept saying, like, this is a SWAT. And then once they saw my wife, I swear one of them said, "God damn it." Like and you could almost see all of their erections. Like they were very excited to be there.